everybody, welcome to another Clean Mesh tutorial. I'm Steve and I'm going to teach you how to do a default setup. It's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of headaches. So let's get started. And the first thing I want to say is I know how frustrating it can be. Like, you've already hit render and now you've got a setting you forgot. Well, no more of that. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to go through Blender and get the system to remember all of your settings. And if this is something you don't want to necessarily do, you can download the Blender launcher, and what you can do with this is you can download multiple versions, and you can use one of the stable versions for all your geometry nodes. Like, you can go with 3.2, 3.3 if you want the curved hair modifier. And so you can just go to this address here at dotbo.github.io/blender-launcher, and then you can get that. And then you can pick whatever you want from your library. Like, I'll go with, actually let's pull up one I'm not using because I don't want to mess up my setup. So 3.1.0, I don't believe I'm using that for anything at the moment. Okay, it looks like I've already got a setup on that. A little too thorough. So what we'll do is we'll just use this one, and under defaults in the file menu, I'm just going to hit load factory settings and just wiped out all of that. So right now we have nothing. We've just got the basic default cube and one light and a camera. So I'm just going to hit A and delete all of that. And what I want to do, very first thing, is go into the edit menu preferences, and I'm just going to jump through my different add-ons, and I'm going to fast forward this so you don't have to actually sit it. You don't have to sit through that. You can see it at 4x speed. Alright, so that's a lot better. Now you can see, or I can see what I'm doing. So if I go over here, and let's add a texture to this just for the purposes of the tutorial. I'll add a little something here. Kind of make that a little metallic. And the world properties, usually I don't use them. And so I would turn that down. And now if I go back over to my render properties and go down, you can see the difference. Like, I'll put in 0.5 exposure where I want it to be. You can go to standard, and that's not my type of setting at all. I would tell you more, but I've not had enough coffee. So high contrast, like if you have nothing there, or you go to very high contrast, I think it's just a little too bright. So high contrast has usually been pretty good. And if we get our strict camera view right here, that's not bad. I could move some of these over. Actually, you're gonna work. There we go. Just put our shadows all going one way, or conceptually you could just delete all of these lights and make sure the cursor is at world origin and drop in my actual favorite, which is just one area light, which is so much cleaner, and click the light bulb, and we'll put that one to, I think 500 should be good to get a very nice, it's like a lot softer shadows down there now. Now I don't have shadow caustics in this version, or I would enable this to receive this to cast, and for this one to cast shadow caustics as well, and kind of have that preset. But just remember, when you're doing shadow caustics, if you're using 3.2 or higher, you are only get a maximum of 4 bounces. And so what that means is, like, within that 1 or 2 objects, you're only going to get 4 light bounces with the caustics, so it's not perfect. I've actually got a lighting video up that I go over some of that, so you can check that one out, and definitely like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. You can also become a patron, and when I get a lot bigger, you're going to get all the private stuff and all the early release tutorials and different things like that. So that's cool. Gosh, looks like it costs money now. So what I would do is I would set my output folder, and I've got one ready to go. Render output, and just hit accept, and then I'll switch into OpenEXR for animations. And then if I was to render this right now and just hit render image, man, I can hear those fans kick up. Can anybody hear those fans? The RTX is amazing. So that is pretty cool, and then you could just save as and switch that to PNG or JPEG. If you're trying to share it online or make it some kind of an icon, it has to be a JPEG normally, because the PNGs are going to be like 10 megabytes or more. So that's not going to help you. Let's see, that's getting pretty close to where I wanted to be. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I could put a smoothing modifier on that or do some more stuff, but literally all this is hey, this is my intro scene. This is the favorite way I have it. Now all you have to do is click File, Defaults, Save. Now don't get off of this, because you have to save it twice almost. It seems like you're not saving it twice, but if you don't click Save Startup File, you'll see down here Startup File Saved. So now if I was to exit out, let's just quit, and I'm not saving that because I don't want to save it as a blend file, and I relaunch 3.1. Okay, well, that render screen is there. You'll see I get my splash screen, but guess what? I've got this, and now it's starting not in cycles, and everything is still here. Voila. So like, you don't ever want to start it in cycles. You don't want to save something and then open it back up. You want to open it up. I don't care how fast your computer is. I don't think it's ever helpful. So anyways, I hope that was helpful. And like I said, you can go through and you can set up anything. So if you were to go to Geometry Nodes and you say, man, this stinks, I hate seeing this. Or you go to shading and you're like, I don't ever need to see this folder again. I don't ever need to see this again. I'm just going to join all these areas. And then I go back to startup file and save it again. Well, I can go ahead and quit. Give it a second. Relaunch. Okay, well, that crashed. That's okay. The Blender launcher is extremely buggy. But anyhow, you get the gist, and this is yeah, it's pretty cool. Wow, so it opened right back up where I left off. And so if you don't want to have to like switch screens and you're that lazy, then you can definitely do that. You can set up, I mean, anything, save anything. If you want it to be snap-on, you want it to be local, so the axis here is moving different. You know what I mean? Like you have local coordinates instead of global, and all kind of different things. So there you go. That's it. And I did this particularly for every single instance of Blender that I have, and I've got like 8 different versions on my computer. So make sure to like and subscribe, and once again, hope this was helpful. And let's build something in Blender or break it trying.